And now please welcome a player who has produced by far his best form of the season here in Hong Kong this week, beating multiple world champions Selby and Williams and the world #1 Judd Trump, en route to his first ranking final in 6 years. He's a brilliant break builder, more than capable of mounting the comeback, because he's the champion of the world from 2015. He's Stuart Ballround Bingham. What a strut. He's ready for business. So too is his opponent, a player closing in on a second World Grand Prix title. He too has been brilliant this week, clearly right back to his best and back in the top 16 as of the rankings tomorrow. Bidding for a 25th ranking title, 19 years after his first. He's a brilliant ambassador for Australian sport. Here comes the Thunder from down under, Neil Robertson.
Well, I guess Stuart Bingham's choice of walk-on music, Staying Alive, could be construed as ironic. The problem he's got is that Neil Robertson has Sunday night fever here in Hong Kong. He's 2 frames away from becoming champion. He leads 8-0 after a devastating opening session. It's a mixture of his brilliance and Stuart Bingham's struggling. He had a lot of chances in the second half, not so much the first half, but the second half of the session, and didn't make the most of them. There's a big crowd in the Kai Tak Arena, the biggest of the week, in fact, but how much snooker are they going to see? Stuart Bingham staring down the barrel as the concluding session of the World Grand Prix final gets underway. He trails Neil Robertson 8-0, so Robertson needs 2 frames to win the trophy and the £180,000 first prize for his 25th success in a world ranking title.
Well, it wasn't the best break-off shot from Stuart. The cue ball was nowhere near the baulk cushion, and it wasn't in behind the yellow. And with an 8-0 advantage, I have to say I fancied Neil to knock that in. Not the worst cannon on the brown, it's cuttable. Black's available into the right corner. So Neil would love to play on the red that's closest to the black. But he's just a little short of pace. I don't think he's on that red. I don't think he's on anything. Or am I wrong? What's he looking at? Oh, a plant, would you believe it? A plant. And I have to say, I fancy him to knock it in.
For sort of small signs, it's going to be your day when you don't get on the red as intended, but there's a plant on. He's played well all week. There's no getting away from that. I thought yesterday against Sean Murphy, from 5-3 down, he was superb. Murphy played terrifically well in that match as well.
Touch and ball.
Well, can you see the potting angle here?
I reckon it does pot, looking at the position of the cue ball in relation to the green. Maybe Neil doesn't know, but do you know, when you're looking at things like these, under the luminance of the television lights, it's very difficult to see this type of thing.
Yeah.
May as well have a go at it nearly, 8-0 up.
Brown ball.
Well, that's the thing. It's Bingham who needs everything to go right tonight. Neil Robertson Might only need 2 chances to win this. But he's missed that.
No, Robertson,
Stuart Bingham
6.
has to play lights-out snooker. The way Will Yizard did from 7-1 down to Robertson in the English Open final, I mean, he just unleashed a barrage of breaks. It's very easy to say that, of course. Not so easy to do it, but at least get on the scoreboard. That's got to be number 1 priority. Don't be whitewashed.
One.
Of course, now we do have a 1 table set up. There will be a new cloth on this table, so... Of course, Stuart didn't have a lot of table time. Well, he did, but he didn't win a frame. But because of the new cloth, the cushions are playing on the slower side, so it didn't help in that situation. Wasn't able to get onto a red.
6.
I wonder if Stuart will play an attacking safety shot here, bring some reds into play, get a good cue ball. Got to try something to get back into the match. He won't do it with safety play and tactics.
Stuart Bingham, 6.
Even that cannon from cue ball to green has been beneficial to Neil, not just because the cue ball's finished close to the baulk cushion, it's also because this red now is very straight, as you can see.
One.
Nicely done. He'll get plenty of support, I'm sure. People have spent their money to come here. They'd like to see a proper contest or certainly some sort of rally. Stuart Bingham's had a few hours to collect his thoughts after that pretty bruising first session.
Eight.
Of course, he has, by reaching the final, secured a place in the Players' Championship, so that's an extra tournament to look forward to in just over a week's time in Telford, the second leg of the Players' Series, for just the top 16 on the one-year list.
Nine.
Stuart, a very attacking break builder. He has the opportunity to go into that little group of 6 reds next to the pink if he wished. Don't know if he will, though. No, because there wasn't a guarantee that it'd be on this next red to the right corner as a fail-safe should the pack opener go wrong.
16.
I think he'll leave an angle this time on the black to go into them.
$17. $24.
They weren't ideally situated, those reds, to go into from the black, but he does have a red to the green pocket. But if he plays for the blue or the pink from it, he'll have to knock it in.
25.
Well, that's one hurdle he's got over, but this cue ball on the side cushion makes the next shot more difficult. We've had a final won from 8-0 down, but it was a longer final, of course. It was 40 years ago in Sheffield, where Dennis Taylor was 8-0 down to Steve Davis and eventually won on the final black, of course, 18-17. Well, two good pots there. He might get the loudest cheer of the day if he wins his first frame. I think in any sporting contest, you want to see someone struggling find something.
$33.
Well, this is the perfect red to remove because it makes the two reds just to the left of it both available into the left corner. Play for pink or black here.
$39.
Oh, I feel sorry for Stuart there. That cue ball seemed to really leap off that side cushion. And that's why he's finished within a centimetre of the black, as you can see. Well, it would cut in, but surely he wouldn't take this on. Oh, great pot. Great pot. Now, has he finished on the red? Yes, he has.
46. $47.
And when you are in a predicament like this, obviously, it doesn't happen too often in a professional player's career, certainly not Stuart's, the ability that he has, but it's all about setting little targets. Oh dear, as I say that, he misses a simple blue.
Stuart Bingham, 47.
Just took his eye off it, perhaps. Had so many opportunities to win frames in that first session and broke down similarly to this.
Yeah, it's been the story from 4-0. This is what's been happening. He's not been closing frames out.
1.
It's not the easiest table, but Bill Robertson will be happy to come back to it with the chance to still win the frame and put another sort of nail in Stuart Bingham's coffin.
Neil made a break of 50 or above in every frame of that first session,
8.
bar one.
I think what was admirable in the
9.
first session is that he didn't in any way back off. His focus was absolute. Neil Robertson is you won't mind me saying this, he's a bit of a geek when it comes to stats. I know when he won that 9-0 against Zhou Ying, he was delighted to join Steve Davis at the time, the only other player to complete a 2-session whitewash in a ranking final. So to be the only one to do it twice, he'd be delighted by. So he'll want to win 10-0. He's not there to show any mercy. Why should he?
Well, he's given himself the opportunity here to play for the black in such a way as to just cannon that red that's closest to the black off that cushion to leave himself on the other one that's closest to the left corner. And if this second shot works out well for Neil, could get right back into the frame.
16.
But he hasn't left the angle. He was anticipating on the black. But can still get onto a red.
$23. Neil Robertson, 23.
So, there's still plenty of work to do after that, but he has broken down. 24 in it. Should save any Steve Davis fans who are thinking of writing in. It's true that Steve did win the Jameson against Dennis Taylor 9-0, and indeed the Masters 9-0 against Mike Hallett. Not ranking events, but they were major finals that he won by way of whitewash. Steve always reckoned that the start of the turnaround against Dennis, he went for a green he shouldn't have gone for when he was miles in front. That he wouldn't have gone for had it been close. But this is a different order because this is only best of 19. Neil Robertson is playing the same disciplined snooker that's got him here.
Got to be careful here, Stuart. If he tries to just land on a red, he could easily knock it on into a potable position. That's why he's played a different shot. Now he has left the other red here, and if it's tight against the cushion, Neil may fancy dropping it in for the black in the opposite corner. Well, he cued that one much, much better than the previous one he missed along the cushion into the opposite corner, which he rather just snatched at as he struck the cue ball. Can play for the red now, into the green pocket. Well, seemed to apply a stun to the cue ball there.
8.
But the fact that he's only 16 points adrift now means that Stuart Bingham will need that awkward yellow as well. There's a lot to consider here. It's not easy to get the red and the cue ball safe from a position like this, but he could run the cue ball through to the baulk cushion and play the red on and off the cushion to try and leave a snooker behind the green. There's every chance he'd play the shot well, but if he didn't, he could leave a pot on.
Neil Robertson, 8.
Yeah, the bad news for Bingham, I mean, there's a lot of bad news right now, but it's that Robertson's not taking liberties, you know, which he's entitled actually to come out and do that, but he's not. He's playing the same snooker he would be playing if it was 4 each.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, Stuart, having to ponder this. That was a very clever shot that Neil has played there. Stuart can't do much at all with this, not with the brown so close to the red. course, now that Stuart has played such a basic safety, which is all he could do there, Neil is in the box seat with this tactical exchange. And this is exactly the sort of position you often find yourself in snooker, where you try to just do too much with a certain shot that you can easily make a mistake with by doing so. Neil just has to be a little careful here, not to try to do too much and get too much distance between the balls. I think he's done pretty much the only thing he could have done there. Has Stuart Bingham turned the tables on Neil Robertson? Surely Neil doesn't think he can snick this red into that left-hand corner pocket off the brown. I don't know if that brown's off the cushion far enough for that to be possible. Neil seems interested in it. I just don't know if Neil can snick this red thin enough from where the cue ball is. I think if the cue ball had been over somewhere towards the pink spot, I think the shot would have been potentially on, but from where the cue ball is, I'm not so sure. Wow, did Neil play that? If he did, it's a master stroke. And with that red being so close to the pink, Stuart's in all sorts of trouble here.
Foul limits, Neil Robertson 7.
It's days like this where you have to remind yourself how much you love snooker, and Stuart Bingham does. Not quite loving it at the minute, though. Robertson may be looking to see if he could pop the yellow off the brown.
Yes, because, of course, Neil has got Stuart Bingham in a very tricky little snooker there, with every chance that Stuart could leave a free ball. He hasn't on this occasion, and I'm a little, well, just a touch surprised that Neil hasn't chosen to attempt the red. Very missable, though it was.
It's one of those where, say, Stuart Bingham had just missed a pot and left the balls there. Robertson would have taken the red on, but obviously he has the choice here to put it back, and that's what he's done. Who knows, he could hit this and fluke it. Stranger things have happened. He wasn't far away, was he? He's got it safe.
Yeah, Stuart will be delighted. Now, I wonder if Neil may choose to play the red towards the yellow here and try and get the cue ball in behind the blue, as he did previously. Definitely the shot's on. And of course, if he can affect the snooker, then Stuart Bingham, in all likelihood, would be bringing the yellow into play in his attempt to escape. Well, I wonder if that's a mistake, Dave. Does this red pot off the yellow, I wonder?
Yeah, good shout, Dom. Well, Neil Robertson had the chance from the first miss, didn't he? He did have a pot on the red. Chose not to take it on. Bingham got safe second time. Now he has potted the red off the yellow. Needs to get on the yellow off this brown. And now needs to get on the green off this yellow. He still needs green, yellow, green and brown.
Oh, it was one of those shots, wasn't it? You just couldn't work out how much force he needed to play the yellow with there. And it was easier than Stuart thought it was. So still, anybody's frame, really. I know the blue is safe, but it's on the right-hand side of the table for a left-handed player, and we all know Neil Robertson's the greatest left-hander snooker's ever seen. Barring, of course, Mark Williams. Andrew Trump. How many left-handers do we have in snooker?
Well, it's wriggled away from the pocket. It feels sort of like it's 8-all, doesn't it? Rather than 8-0, but Bingham desperately trying to get one frame on the scoreboard.
Not quite in behind the blue, but the key thing when you play any safety shot, if you get the object ball safe, well, then the whole shot's safe. As you can see, this green is potable. The problem is, does the cue ball cannon into the black off the top cushion, I wonder? Won't be much in it. It did, but the green's gone in and he's... Well, for somebody with Neil's potting ability, I think he may fancy this brown, and if he can play it with topspin, he may be able to get onto the blue, into the same pocket.
Where's it going to finish?
Neil Robertson 3.
For a moment, it looked like it might go in. Bingham 13 in front, needs brown and blue to win his first frame of the day. It's just not happening for him, is it? And this is the thing, as I say, back half of the session this afternoon, he did have a lot of chances. That's the disappointment. It's one thing to be completely outplayed, but to have the opportunities, that's the disappointing thing.
Cue ball probably too close to the side cushion for Neil to even attempt to get onto the blue. And the difference now, if Neil does pot the brown, Stuart would only need the blue. But I think the key thing is for Neil, don't miss the pot on the brown.
Well, he's done ever so well to get there. He really has. Now then, another testing pot, but he's got this huge margin to work with, an 8-frame margin. Another fabulous pot. And that's the thing today. OK, Bingham has struggled, but Neil Robertson has been superb. He needs pink and black to get within one of the title. A close frame
15.
in a one-sided match. Is it going to go the same way as the previous 8? Neil Robertson needs the black to lead 9-0. Another hammer blow is landed by the Aussie, who is now one away from completing a whitewash win in the final of the World Grand Prix. He leads 9-0. Another frame slipped by. Neil Robertson made a clearance in the last of the afternoon to win on the black. He's made a brown to black clearance there. It was a good one.
Thank you.
To make it 9-0.
From 10, Neil Robertson to break.
It's felt like a much closer match than 9-0, but that's the score. And it means that this man breaking off needs one more frame to win his 25th world ranking title. How many blows can Stuart Bingham absorb?
Rapturous applause once again. I think this audience, well, obviously they want to see a close contest, but they'd love to see Stuart win a frame at least.
How about a maximum? I know he's asking a lot, but that
8.
would cheer him up a bit.
Well, we saw Sean Murphy make his 10th career maximum not that long ago. Stuart Bingham is on 9 career 147s. It's a good point you make, actually, Dave. I mean, if you're in a situation like this, I think you'd probably have a go at it. Take some glory out of the final, at least.
Doesn't seem happy that he's on the red to left corner, because Judd Trump has got the 2 highest breaks, 146 and 145, so Looking good for the £10,000 high break prize.
9.
It's been good to see Bingham come back to form. He's struggled this season, particularly in 2025 itself. He hadn't won a ranking event match this year. Had some bruising defeats, 4-0 to Robbie Williams at the Welsh. Didn't qualify for the World Open. But he's beaten Mark Williams, Wu Yiza, Mark Selby and Judd Trump. So, you know, he's played some seriously good stuff in the tournament. He's been talking, though, about what's known as the yips, just not on certain shots delivering the cue properly, which is a concern. It's also, though, to his credit that he's beaten all those players despite that.
$15.
Well, if you take an eye
15.
or both eyes off the pot, it just shows you what can be missed. Virtually anything. Oh, that was cued, really cued right across it. Nearly found the middle pocket with the cue ball.
Neil Robertson's first chance then to get the title won. The Grand Prix was a different event, but the Grand Prix was his first ranking title back in 2006. The first of many, and his record in finals is superb. He's won 24 titles from 37 finals. He's won his last 3 ranking finals, 6 of his last 7. When he gets to this stage, he's hard to stop.
9.
Can he go out with a grandstand finish of his own? And all the worry about the crucible and all that has gone away. He'll be there. And in this form, he'll be dangerous.
Yes, and let's not forget last year. Didn't even make the crucible stages. He lost 10-9 to Jamie Jones in the final qualifying round. In fact, he began last season very poorly. He lost to players such as Liam Highfield, Daniel Wells, Sanderson Lamb and Jordan Brown very early in the season. He was struggling for quite a while, Neil Robertson.
$16.
Now, a possible 3-ball plant. These 2 reds that we can see are pretty much lined up for the corner pocket were there from the break-off shot pretty much. And they've remained there. But he does have a red that he could play with the rest into the right corner. I have to say, because they're offset, those 2 reds, and he'd have to play another red onto the plant, I think he's playing the right thing here, playing the right shot. Problem is, how does he get onto a colour? He has too much of an angle, I feel, on this red to right corner. I don't know if he can cannon into the red and the pink and promote the pink to the left corner. Can he just stun across the face of all of those reds to play the black in the same pocket? It's another possibility, maybe.
Neil Robertson, 16.
Go on, Stuart. Someone shouts out. They're giving him support. Robertson annoyed. He's not there to show mercy. There's been some tough days for him, haven't there, over the last couple of years? As Dom mentioned, not qualifying for the Crucible's hard to take. But it's already gone wrong for Stuart. One of those days for ball run. For those of you just joining us, this is the final of Snooker's World Grand Prix live in Hong Kong. Neil Robertson led 8-0 against Stuart Bingham coming into the final session. He won the first frame on the black tonight, so 9-0 points level in the 10th frame. Stuart Bingham just potted a red, didn't finish nicely on a colour, trying to avoid the dreaded whitewash.
I'm trying to ask myself, you know, what shot would Stuart play had this been frame one of the final? And I think he'd be taking on the brown either to the left centre or the left corner. Is he considering the green? Much more difficult to guarantee position from the green. It's such a thin cut. He's looking at the yellow now. Is he going to play a safety? No, he's going to attempt to cut it in. It's very thin. Oh dear. Well, that's a complete and utter miss hit, and
Stuart Bingham won.
Dave just a few minutes ago was mentioning that Stuart's suffering what he thinks is with the yips, which isn't a new thing in snooker. We had a wonderful player from South Wales, Paul Davis, many years ago, could scarcely hit the cue ball rather, when the pressure was really on him. It's sad to see.
It's sad to see in anyone, but certainly a great player like Stuart Bingham, a world champion, one of the most enthusiastic, positive people in the sport. Hopefully he can sort that out. As I say, he still reached the final despite those issues.
Well, you can see the red nearest the corner pocket comprehensively snookered by the blue, but the red closest to it, you can see, will pop past it, and Stuart's definitely considering this. It's a bit of an all or nothing shot, perhaps, but now he's deciding to potentially try to plant this red onto the one over the corner.
Yeah, so another chance for Stuart Bingham. His highest break today, 63 in the 8th frame, but of course Neil Robertson cleared up with 66. Oh no, just for a moment. I thought it was in the pocket, but still not finished great.
3.
Yeah, Stuart's final backswing and strike of the cue ball was all in one motion, which is unusual for him. Sometimes when the pressure hits you and you're really struggling, you can completely lose your cue action, and you can easily misconstrue that for being the yips, but it isn't, because that's more of a psychological thing rather than a temporary loss of your cue action.
Stuart Bingham 3.
Yeah, not a good safety to finish it. Must feel like a sort of anxiety dream, this, at the moment for Stuart Bingham, when just nothing is going right. We know what a great long potter Neil Robertson is.
Not only was the pot impressive, the perfect control of the cue ball, that stun run through, he's played to absolute perfection there.
Eight.
Well, he was in something of the doldrums, wasn't he, last year? He'd had that streak, 2006 to 2022, every calendar year has won a title of some sort. Didn't win one in 2023. Of course, 2024 came back with the English Open. But
9.
I think everybody felt he could turn it around. Of course, it was up to him to put the work in, to keep the belief. He spent more time maybe on outside tables than he was used to. But this is where Neil Robertson comes alive. This is one of the biggest arenas he would ever have played in. And these Players' Series events, he's won them all 3 of them. Seem to suit him as well.
16. Seventeen.
The red next to the pink. I just wonder if it's available into the right corner.
24.
Be absolutely ideal for Neil if it were to be available. I'm not sure it is, though.
$25.
Has a lovely angle to play a delicate cannon into the 4 reds here. Yeah, I'm not sure that red next to the pink is on, looking at that camera shot there. And if he does go into the 4 reds, if he cannons one of those top 3 reds full ball, he may be on nothing. Well, the red next to the pink must be available. And maybe he's on it 3/4 ball. He could screw into the 4 reds and hold for the pink in the same pocket. And then frame a match and championship really would be at his mercy.
$31.
Neil thought that he could screw into those 4 reds and hold for the pink. Just skimmed off them, and I don't think any of those 4 reds are available, so in all honesty, it's pointless taking the black on now. May as well put a colour safe.
Yeah, you don't have to go out in a blaze of glory. It's just about getting the 10th frame won. And even at 9-0, he's not taking undue risks. He's got a 28-point lead.
Neil Robertson, 31.
I think Neil could just clip a red towards the left-hand side cushion here and leave the cue ball somewhere near the green pocket. That would be pretty good.
He clearly wants to win 10-0, doesn't he? It's not just about winning, it's about getting that little record, because it'll be in the record books forever. Remember, only 3 players so far have won a multi-session ranking final by way of whitewash. He's already done it once. So it's a very elite list, and he can get his name on it twice here.
Oh, well done, Stuart Bingham. some of our audience members can see themselves on the big screen. I think the top red of those two together may be available into the right centre, but I don't think Stuart's quite straight enough on the black to play for it. But he may be able to cannon into the two reds. Yeah, didn't fancy it. Don't think the bottom red of the two will pot.
8.
Could double the red that's near the side cushion, though.
Stuart Bingham, 8.
Just too good at those long pots, isn't he? Another stunning pot.
Yeah, I was just thinking a few minutes ago to myself, out of all the game's greatest potters and break builders, you know, Mark Williams, Izzy Ronis, Judd Trumps, all of those guys, I honestly think when this man is at the table in fine form, he's the greatest potter and break builder I've ever seen. But it's hardly surprising because he also possesses one of the finest cue actions the sport's ever seen. And I think Ronnie O'Sullivan will attest to that. There's a quick look at the top red of the two, which will pot into the right centre. Neil could play for it from the yellow, but would need to play the yellow with the rest, I think. Don't know if he could hold for it from the blue, that's the problem.
Well, they both had a look at the potential plant to the yellow pocket. Bingham had a look at it. Robertson's had a look at it. If he can make it, he's surely won. It's looking good. It's looking good. Neil Robertson, who first came to the UK at the age of 16 to try his hand at snooker. Dropped off the tour a couple of times, actually went to the job centre. He was going to pack it in. Stood in the queue, thought again.
14.
Thank goodness he did, because he's been one of the best players of the last 2 decades, and this red is for victory.
15.
What a stunning performance. Stuart Bingham has struggled, but Neil Robertson has kept his focus and his determination. And he's going to land his second ranking title of the season and the 25th
20.
of his magnificent career.
22. Neil Robertson, 22.
Neil Robertson is the history man in Hong Kong.
Thank you, Stuart.
The first player to win 2 ranking finals by way of whitewash over a multi-session. He did all the damage in the first session. Stuart Bingham was not at the races at all. And it's Neil Robertson who wins the World Grand Prix by 10 frames to 0.
Stuart,
180,000 to him, and let's hear from the players.
Today was not your day, but what I would like to focus on is the incredible run to the final. You've beaten 2 brilliant multiple world champions. Mark Selby and Mark Williams, and your victory against Judd last night was absolutely fantastic. There are positives to take from this week.
It's hard at the moment, but like I say, hats off to Neil. He took every chance today, had a little bit of run at the right times, but I had my chances. The score's 10-0, it could have easily been 5-all if I'd have took my chances, but say Neil, he done some unbelievable clearances, and yeah, simple as that, and the writing was on the wall. I think when he dished up to go 8-0, I always felt like I believe that I could do something, but today just weren't happening.
And not only have you returned to a ranking event final for the first time in 6 years, your run to this final has pushed you up from 30th on the one-year list to 14th, so you've earned a passage through to the Players' Championship as well.
Yeah, my goal was obviously to get to the final. If someone would have said obviously before the week you can get the final and get beat 10-0, I would have maybe gone, nah, let me have a frame. But yeah, like you say, my final really was yesterday against Judd. It was a big match for me, say, to get in the Players, but like I say, hats off to Neil, he played well. I'll just say a few words, obviously, to the sponsors, to the crowd here. They've been unbelievable all week. It's been a good week on the table for me, but I'd just like to shout out to Jack Zalski, feeling for you, mate. My friend Lee Fairbrother, feel for all ya. My long-term coach, Jay Lazarus, passed away this week, and my uncle Ray passed away this morning. So it ain't been a good week off the table, but forget, obviously, shout out to them guys, but like you say, try and got to take the positives. Obviously, where is it? Telford in a week or so time. So yeah, I've got that to look forward to now, and I'll be after Neil. I want Neil in the draw. He ain't going to beat me 10-0 then.
Well, Stuart, it's incredible that you turned out and contested the final, bearing in mind what you've just told us. Everybody you've just mentioned would be very, very proud of you. Stuart Bingham, ladies and gents. From a very, very gracious runner-up to a wonderful, wonderful champion. Neil, that was absolutely sensational this week. It seems you are back to your very, very best.
Yeah, I said that, you know, with all the hard work I've been putting in over the last 18 months, that, you know, some big results were around the corner, and it's proved to be the case this season. And this week, playing with the new titanium ferrule, I was just hoping to win one match, maybe two. So to come away winning is unbelievable. And yeah, just today a lot went my way. You know, I started off really well the first 4 frames, and then after that I really did steal like quite a few frames. I had some amazing clearances. Yeah, so you know, on another day, like Stuart said, it could have easily been sort of 5-all after 10 frames. Just one of those things. So yeah, but glad to see him back in the final and pushing up, getting back into the top 16 again. And I'm sure he'll get there in no time.
He certainly will. Spoken with real grace. There's huge respect between these two guys. And Neil, it's not just what you've done today. The recovery from 5-3 down against Sean Murphy was absolutely superb. You've been delivering day after day after day in this world-class facility.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, my record in Hong Kong is really good. I've won 2 of the 3 major events we've had out here, and to be the first ranking event winner here in, is it 35 years?
Yep, 35 years.
Yeah, that's amazing. And the crowd support all week has been great. Whenever I come to Hong Kong, I always get brilliant support, so I can't thank you guys enough for that.
And I know they thank you in return. And Neil, this longevity is great. I know you've got this brilliant record of almost having won a title every single calendar year. Your first ranking victory, 2006. Here you've got another title in 2025. 25 titles across 19 years. That's just ranking event victories, let alone the Masters. Not a bad record.
Yeah, it's very good. Last year was disappointing because that was the only calendar year out of the lot that I missed out. But I believe that's what sort of made me a much better player overall going into this season. Working with Helen Davis, my sports psychologist, and Joe Perry. I've got an amazing team set up and just incredible, 2 kids and Miller holding down the fort for me while I'm away, and she does an amazing job. And without all those things working together, you don't really have a successful career. So it's as much, thanks to them as it is the hard work that I put in.
And it looks as though the Robertson swagger is back around the table. You must have huge confidence now for the Players' Champs, the Tour Champs, and the big one coming up next month in April.
Yeah, well, the Players' Champs and Tour Champs, the last time I was in them, I won them both. So, the way things have gone the last 2 years, I haven't been in them. So, I look forward to trying to kind of reclaim those trophies. And, it's just been an amazing turnaround for me, starting the year provisionally sort of at about 40-something in the world by December, and then being able to turn that around is really good. So, really pleased, but we've still got a lot to play for the rest of the season, but I'm certainly going to enjoy this one.
Well, I hope you enjoy a glass of something nice this evening. You are the champion once again. For the second time in his career, he gets his hands on the World Grand Prix trophy. Your winner, Neil Robertson.
Thank you, Rob. 哇，非常之精彩嘅總決賽，咁多位嘉賓來賓，仲有我哋觀眾，可唔可以俾再熱烈嘅掌聲俾我哋兩位嘅球手啊？哇！ Ladies and gentlemen, moving on, we'll have the World Grand Prix 2025 award ceremony. Just now, we have witnessed together a truly spectacular final between our 2 incredible players. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please give it up for our 2 amazing players here. 各位來賓，跟住落嚟咧就係我哋世界格蘭披治桌球大獎賽嘅
So we're just a few moments away from the trophy being presented.
頭先咁精彩啦，咁相
Shame, I
信
guess, for
大
the
家
crowd
都
it
非
wasn't a
常之
longer
享受到我哋今日
match,
嘅
but
總
this
決賽啊！
event we've been
跟
told
住落
will be
嚟
here
事
for
不
the
宜
next
遲啦，
4
我哋有
years,
請
so
我哋
plenty
嘅
of
主禮
opportunity
嘉賓嚟到我哋
to see a
現
lot of
場。
world-class
Ladies and
snooker
gentlemen,
in
please
future
give a big
years.
round of applause to welcome our guest of honor. May I invite Mr. Wilfred GBS MHJP Chairman Major Sports Events
So the
Committee
dignitaries
大型
will
體育
come
活
out
動
and
事
take
務
their
委員會主
places
席
in the
吳
arena.
守基先生 GBS MHJP 掌聲
Judd Trump, of
Mr.
course,
Dane Chang
held on to the
Executive
high break
Director
prize.
of Hong Kong Tourism Board 香港旅遊發展局總幹事程鼎一先生 Mr. Jason Ferguson, Chairman of the World Professional Billiards and Snooker Association. 世界職業桌球協會主席福澤勝先生 Mr. Steve Dawson, Chairman of the World Snooker Tour 世界桌球巡迴賽主席史提夫杜森先生 Mr. Tony Mock, Director of F Sports Promotion Limited, F Sports Promotion Limited 總監莫華彤先生 Mr. Vincent Law, Chairman Billiard Sports Council of Hong Kong, China 中國香港桌球總會主席羅永聰先生 Mr. Jimmy Zhang, Deputy General Manager of Gold Lion Far East Limited 金利來遠東有限公司副總經理曾志謀先生 Miss Anthea Lowe, BVSJP Independent Non-Executive Director of Gold Lion Holdings Limited 金利來集團有限公司獨立非執行董事羅永詩小姐 BVSJP Mr. Patrick Kam, Chief Financial Officer and Company Secretary of Gold Lion Holdings Limited 金利來集團有限公司首席財務總監兼公司秘書金耀國先生再一次用掌聲歡迎我哋嘅主禮嘉賓 Ladies and gentlemen, before we start the ceremony, we'd like to present the highest break bonus. With a break of 146, Judd Trump has won the highest break bonus. Now, may I invite the representative of Judd Trump, Paul Collier, Tournament Director of WST,
Judd Trump
to
not
receive
here,
the
but
prize of the highest
Collier
break
will
bonus.
Present him with his prize at a later date.
以一四路獲得 highest break bonus 嘅係
Paul is the tournament director. He's a pretty handy player himself, of course, great referee over the years.
接受大會頒發一杆最高度數
But
嘅獎
unfortunately for him, he
項。
doesn't get to keep the money.
Let's invite Mr. Tony Mock and Mr. Patrick Cam to present the check. 我哋有請莫華彤先生同埋金耀國先生咧為我哋頒發支票㗎。So would our guest please look towards the middle for a photo together?
If you're just tuning in, this is Paul Collier collecting Judd Trump's high break prize. He hasn't won it himself.
Congratulations! A big round of applause, please. 掌聲，掌聲。現在我哋即將頒發我哋
as ever to the tournament team from World Snooker Tour.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an exhilarating final. We have winners today. And now may I present you the first runner-up of the World Snooker Grand Prix 2025, Stuart Bingham. 世界格蘭披治桌球大獎賽2025
Well, we heard Stuart getting emotional, sad news in his personal life. Those Joe Lazarus, his former manager, passing away, and he mentioned his uncle as well. On the table, he's played terrific snooker. It just didn't happen today.
Congratulations, Stuart. It's no easy task to reach this stage.
But he'll be in the Players' Championship. There's plenty to look forward to for the rest of the season.
Thank you, Mr. Mock. And would Stuart please stay? Now may I invite Mr. Steve Dawson, Mr. Vincent Law, and Miss Anthea Lowe to present the check and gift to the first runner-up. 我哋有請史提夫道森先生、羅永聰先生同埋羅永詩小姐為我哋今屆亞軍頒發支票同埋禮品㗎。首先我哋有請 Anthea 咧為我哋頒發花環先嚇。Anthea, please do us the honor to present the garland for Stuart, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, £80,000 coming into the event. He'd earned just over 100,000 for the season, so it has transformed things for sure. From a prize money perspective and, of course, world rankings.
And Vincent, please present the gift as well. Thank you. And now,
Steve Dawson, they're the chairman of World Snooker Tour.
With our first runner-up, Stuart. And now let's look towards the middle. Fantastic, fantastic tournament. And would all our guests please stay? Let's invite our guests to come forward for a group photo together. May I invite Mr. Patrick Cam, Mr. Tony Mock, Mr. Steve Dawson, Mr. Dane Jern, Mr. Wilfred Mr. Jason Ferguson, Mr. Vincent Law, Mr. Jimmy Zhang, and Miss Anthea Lowe to join us for a big group picture to recognize the fantastic performance of Stuart Bingham. And of course, we will have to have our first runner-up in the middle. Stuart, we're very, very proud of you. Fantastic tournament and performance. And would our all guests please stand a little bit closer together? And when you're ready, fantastic, awesome. And when you're ready, let's capture this very special moment. 1, 2, 3, towards the middle.
Well, I mean, Stuart is a good guy and he'll play along with this. I think he just wants to get out of there, doesn't he, as they pose for pictures. He's got to stand in the right spot and all the rest of it.
The middle. Shall we do one with our thumbs up? Shall we do one with our thumbs up?
Let's have a brief word with Dom while we wait for, obviously, Neil Robertson to get his trophy. The worthy winner, Dominic.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great, though, to see a smile back on the face of Stuart Bingham. There's obviously got other things, you know, to focus on, you know, the sad loss of Joe Lazarus. I used to know him very, very well. I didn't know he'd passed away recently. And, of course, you know, Jack Lisowski having to pull out earlier on for personal reasons. So other things perhaps on the mind of Stuart Bingham, but the smile has returned. And it's been a very, very good performance from Stuart Bingham. But, of course, he wasn't a match today for Neil Robertson.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for. Let me present you the winner of the World Snooker Grand Prix 2025, Neil Robertson.
The last man standing here in Hong Kong, Neil Robertson, who beat Zhou Ying 9-0 in the European Masters final in 2020, has now beaten Stuart Bingham 10-0 in the World Grand Prix final 5 years on. 2 of only 4 whitewashes in multi-session ranking finals.
Neil, please stay. Moving on, may I invite Mr. Wilfred
He's going to get
Jimmy Zhang, Mr.
the check and the trophy and all the congratulations here.
May I invite
of course, he did win the Hong Kong Masters when it was
to
invitation
Neil.
event back in 2017. He's actually now won 36 professional titles all told, 25 of them carrying ranking
also the check.
points. And this is these are the rewards for all the work. And he spoke about the the work he'd done with the sports psychologist. Obviously, Joe Perry's been in his corner as well. His family have been in his corner.
Now, a big round of applause for them. And now
but when you're out there, you are on your own. And Neil Robertson has been superb this week. Right from the start when he beat Yuan Xijun 4-0. He beat Dave Gilbert 4-1. He was 3-1 down to Zhao Gudong, won that one 5-3.
Big round of applause again for our
He was
champion.
5-3 down to Shaun Murphy, beat him 6-5, and of course today 10-0 against Stuart Bingham.
The trophy, ladies and gentlemen. Please give a big round of applause again for our champion, please.
So the first World Grand Prix in Hong Kong, a familiar winner, and Neil Robertson very shortly will receive that lovely trophy that he won in 2020 in Cheltenham.
係唔該晒我哋嘅頒獎嘉賓啊，為我哋頒發啊呢張咁神聖嘅支票啊
His second ranking title of the season, with 3 still to come: the Players' Championship, the Tours Championship, and the World Championship, of course, where Neil Robertson will be seeded at the Crucible. That was in doubt as the season went on.
And then the moment we've been waiting for. Let's present the trophy. 我哋俾熱烈啲嘅掌聲得唔得？咁多位觀眾，我哋一齊慶祝呢個咁開心嘅時候。
Neil Robertson, the World Grand Prix champion in 2025, the deserved champion, another trophy for his collection. And who's to say there won't be more before this season is out. He's coming into form at exactly the right time of the campaign.
Okay, when you're ready, let's capture this happiness, this success here. 1, 2, 3, big smile. Thank you, Jamie, Wilfred, and Dave. Thank you. Neil, please stay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm thrilled to present you once again the champion of the World Grand Prix 2025, the one and only Neil Robertson!
Yes, the most successful non-British player in snooker history, extending his record, his legacy. We saw even right at the end there some of the long potting, just how devastating he is when he's on form. And he has been this week. Maybe it was all part of the master plan, misreading the date of the World Open qualifier, not actually going to Yushan, saving his best for Hong Kong. So a happy picture for Neil Robertson. Congratulations to him, and thank you for your company this week. A lot of early mornings, I know, for everybody. If you've been with us from the start, thank you. And of course, our coverage will continue on TNT Sports at the World Championship just under 6 weeks from now. For viewers outside the UK on Eurosport, you can watch the Players' Championship on the continent. And that will be starting a week on Monday.
And moving on, may I invite our guests to join us?
So as we say goodnight for the final time this year from Hong Kong, for those of you outside the UK on Eurosport and Discovery Plus, you can watch the Players' Championship from the 17th of March. Neil Robertson will be there, and of course he'll be at the Crucible, and on TNT Sports we will be live from April the 19th for all 17 days of the World Championship. So that's it from the World Grand Prix. A very enjoyable week here. Congratulations to Neil Robertson, and from the whole snooker team, it's goodbye.
我哋有請咁多位主禮嘉賓咧，同我哋嘅冠軍得主 Neil 影張相啊嚇！我哋企埋少少啦 ，stand a little bit closer together, thank you. And let's look towards the middle. 1, 2, 3, big smile. And surely we need to do a thumbs up, am I right? To celebrate the success and happiness and the celebration here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, thumbs up, and let's look towards the middle.